Hey Ski Team athletes, this is Essential Foundational Movements video 4. So in this video we are going to go over our push and our press movements for our upper body. Now we're going to start with the push. Everybody knows this one best as the push-up, right? But we're going to bring a lot of the movements that we've covered already into that push-up position. So again, in video number 3 we went over core bracing. We're going to bring that into that push-up position. So for push-up position, again, just like our squat, we want to think about being in a stacked position, right? So you're thinking my wrist is under my elbow is right under my shoulder, right? And we're keeping our hips level. My hips aren't too high, my hips aren't too low. Then we bring that core bracing motion into the push. So I tighten my core by bringing my ribs to my belly button, brace that core and stabilize that lower back. Now from here, a lot of people flare the elbows out. I can put some pressure on the wrist and shoulders that's unneeded, right? So I want you to think about keeping your elbows tight to the body and slowly descend into your push-up all the way to the bottom position. And again, from here we brace our core and push all the way up, right? If you're not bracing your core correctly, you can sometimes see yourself do the worm, right? Or if you have some upper body strength issue, you can see that upper back come right up and not have the lower back follow. So I encourage you to really focus on this position and moving the chest and the hips at the same time while keeping the elbows tight to your body, right? So that is going to be that push motion, right? Bracing our core as we bring the shoulder blades together all the way to the bottom position, and now we're moving the shoulder blades and hips at the same time. So that's going to play a lot into our press motion too. So we have a push motion and we have a press motion, right? So the press motion is usually pressing overhead, right? If you think about if I'm pressing overhead, that requires a lot of shoulder mobility, right? And if you can't get to this position without compensating with your lower back or your upper back, I encourage you to check out the mobility routine for the upper body. We go over a lot of good shoulder movements in there. So make sure you can do those ones first. Those are great ones to try first before you add any load to that pressing motion. So again, we're going to come over here to a seated bench press so we can go over that core bracing motion. So same thing. I start with the seated press because it's really good to emphasize that core bracing with an overhead motion. So, and right here, if I don't have my core braced, you can see that gap in the lower back. And if I try to press right here and go up, all that force and pressure is going to go right to the bottom of my shoulder blades, right where those two spine segments meet, and you're going to get some back pain and issues with that. So it's important that we brace the core, just like all of our movements that we've worked on so far. We have to brace the core and lock that lower back in. Now from here, the most important thing is setting the shoulder blades. So just like our athletic position, our squat and our hinge, we first start up, and then we set the shoulder blades back and down, right? So we're in this good position right here. My shoulders are already squeezed in a strong position. They're back and down, right? They're not forward. They're in that strong position. And then we brace that core and we press all the way to the overhead position, right? You can see I'm directly over my ears, core is braced, shoulders are back. Right? Going into that motion. That way we can control load and it's going properly, all those forces are going properly into our bones and tissue without having any impingement there. So that is going to be our upper body push and press segment for our essential videos.